Have you ever been lying in bed, completely exhausted, ready to fall asleep? And then, out of nowhere, your brain decides it's the perfect time to remind you of something embarrassing you did 10 years ago? Maybe it was that awkward thing you said in class. Maybe it was a terrible joke nobody laughed at. Maybe it was a message you instantly regretted sending. Suddenly, you're staring at the ceiling, physically cringing over something that happened years ago. But why does this happen? Why does your brain wait until the exact moment you're trying to sleep before replaying your greatest social failures? As strange as it sounds, your brain may actually be trying to help you. Let's start with what happens when the day begins to end. Throughout the day, your brain is constantly busy. You're working, talking to people, scrolling through your phone, making decisions, solving problems, and processing an endless stream of information. Your attention is focused outward. Then, bedtime arrives. The lights go off. The distractions disappear. The room becomes quiet. And for the first time all day, your brain has fewer external things competing for attention. What fills the empty space? Your thoughts. Scientists call this state mind wandering. When the brain is not focused on a specific task, a network known as the default mode network becomes more active. This network is associated with self-reflection, memory retrieval, future planning, and analyzing social experiences. In other words, when you're lying in bed doing nothing, your brain doesn't actually become inactive. It starts reviewing. Think of it like a company performing an audit after business hours. During the day, the workers are busy handling customers. At night, management reviews what happened, what went wrong, and what should be improved. Your brain appears to do something similar. And that's where the embarrassing memories come in. Human beings are incredibly social creatures. For most of human history, being accepted by a group wasn't just emotionally important, it was essential for survival. Being rejected by your tribe could mean losing protection, food, or social support. As a result, our brains evolved to pay extraordinary attention to social mistakes. When you remember an embarrassing moment, your brain may be revisiting a situation that involved social risk. It isn't necessarily trying to make you suffer. Instead, it's analyzing the event and asking an important question. Could this mistake happen again? From an evolutionary perspective, remembering social errors could have helped our ancestors avoid repeating behaviors that damaged relationships or social status. But here's where things get interesting. Your brain doesn't store all memories equally. Research has shown that emotionally charged experiences are often remembered more vividly than ordinary ones. Embarrassment combines several powerful ingredients: emotion, self-awareness, surprise, and social significance. The result? Those memories become easier to retrieve. That's why you can forget what you ate 3 Tuesdays ago, but instantly remember something awkward you said in 2014. The embarrassing moment simply left a stronger imprint. And there's another reason these memories often appear at night. Your brain is constantly trying to predict the future. One of its primary jobs is to identify potential threats before they happen. Sometimes those threats are physical, but often they're social. When you're relaxed and preparing for sleep, your brain may start running simulations. What if that situation happens again? What should I say next time? How could I avoid making the same mistake? To your brain, this process can resemble problem solving. The problem is that your emotional system doesn't always recognize the difference between a real social threat and a memory from years ago. So while your logical mind knows the event is over, your emotional response may briefly react as if it's happening right now. That's why people often physically cringe when remembering old mistakes. Your body is responding to the emotional memory, even though the event itself is long gone. But wait, if these memories are supposed to help us learn, why do they sometimes seem completely pointless? Why are you still thinking about that awkward conversation from middle school? The answer may involve something psychologists call the spotlight effect. Humans tend to dramatically overestimate how much other people notice and remember our mistakes. In reality, most people are far too busy worrying about their own embarrassing moments to spend much time thinking about yours. That presentation you stumbled through, that weird thing you said at a party, that awkward interaction at work. Chances are, you remember it far more clearly than anyone else does. Yet your brain continues flagging it as important because it was emotionally significant to you. In a strange way, your brain treats embarrassing memories like files marked high priority, even when nobody else remembers them. And there's one final twist. Many researchers believe that sleep itself plays a role in memory processing and emotional regulation. During sleep, the brain organizes information, strengthens certain memories, and reduces the emotional intensity attached to some experiences. Ironically, those uncomfortable memories showing up before sleep may sometimes be part of the process that eventually helps your brain move on from them. So the next time you're lying in bed and suddenly remember something embarrassing from years ago, remember this: your brain isn't necessarily trying to torture you. It's reviewing social experiences, analyzing past mistakes, preparing for future situations, and processing emotionally important information. It's basically running maintenance. The problem is that sometimes your brain's maintenance department has a very strange sense of timing. And if you're watching this while replaying an embarrassing moment from 10 years ago, don't worry. You're definitely not the only one. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more fascinating everyday mysteries. And let us know in the comments, what's the most random thing your brain has ever reminded you of right before sleep? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.